It's official! The front office has just pulled the trigger on a deal that promises to shake up the league. Just as everyone found out the roster was finalized, an unexpected twist came. A new big name is on the way, and I got behind-the-scenes access to this bombshell signing. Hold on tight, fans, because what I'm about to tell you now could change the rumor mill for the entire season. A few years ago, the Raiders received the 5th overall pick in the 2015 NFL Draft to select Amari Cooper, a dynamic wide receiver who brought hope and speed to the then Oakland franchise. Now, a decade later, rumors are turning into rumors. Could Cooper be returning to Las Vegas for one final season? It seems crazy to some. After all, Cooper is 31 years old and clearly past the prime that made him one of the league's most feared weapons. But here's the truth. The Raiders' current wide receiver corps is far from elite. Outside of Jacoby Myers, there aren't any proven high-level options. Trey Tucker is promising, but unproven. Jack Beck is exciting, but inexperienced. And the demand for a reliable, experienced presence grows every day. Enter Amari Cooper, the only receiver who knows the organization, has playoff experience, and could be a lifeline for quarterback Geno Smith. Raiders insiders say this makes more sense than one might think. As Pedro Narducci of Pro Football Sports Network puts it, Las Vegas is in dire need of depth. Their current running back corps is among the leanest in the league. Cooper's familiarity and the team's desperate need create a natural fit. Some might argue that Cooper would steal valuable snaps from Jack Beck, but let's think long-term. Cooper allows Beck to develop without being thrown into the fire. And for Geno Smith, having a veteran like Cooper for third downs, red zone runs, and long throws could be the difference between a playoff run and another lost season. Most importantly, Cooper could return to his final chapter in the NFL, ending his career where it all began. If the Raiders can make it work financially, this move could bring leadership, production, and even a spark of nostalgia that ignites the entire fan base. And just when you think the storyline is dramatic enough, another surgical piece emerges that could make its way to Las Vegas, and it could be even cheaper. With the possibility of Amari Cooper returning to Las Vegas looming, another intriguing name is suddenly circling the Raiders' orbit, and it's one very few fans expected. According to Pro Football Network's Jacob Infante, veteran tight end Gerald Everett is being viewed as a top option for 3 specific times: the Atlanta Falcons, the Detroit Lions, and his Las Vegas Raiders. Now, let's be clear. Everett's 2024 season was forgettable at best. Playing for the Chicago Bears, he managed just 8 receptions for 36 yards in 17 games. He was released in February, and many assumed his best days were behind him. But rewind just 2 years and the story changes completely. In 2022, Everett racked up 58 receptions and 555 yards with the Los Angeles Chargers, both career highs. He followed that up with another productive campaign in 2023. So the question is, was 2024 a fluke or the beginning of the end? At 31, Everett is no longer a TE1. And here's a surprise. In Las Vegas, he wouldn't need to be. The Raiders are already blessed with 2 of the NFL's most promising young tight ends: Brock Bowers, the electrifying rookie from Georgia, and Michael Mayer, who both showed great potential as rookies last year. So why bring in another player? Because depth matters. Because leadership matters. Because injuries happen when you least expect it. Bringing in a seasoned veteran like Gerald Everett served multiple purposes. First, he would offer steady hands and veteran knowledge during training camp and the preseason. Second, he would help Bowers and Mayer hone their preparation and improvement. Third, and perhaps most importantly, Everett is familiar with the Raiders' system. He played under head coach Pete Carroll in Seattle, which means the terminology and structure won't be unfamiliar. He doesn't need weeks to adapt. He can contribute from day one. And the price? That's the beauty of it. Everett won't command a high salary. His recent production, coupled with his age and injury concerns, would make him an ideal candidate for a short-term, low-cost contract. Some insiders suggest he could even be signed in training camp with no guaranteed money unless he earns it. Of course, there will be competition. The Falcons are a logical landing spot, considering Everett previously worked with Atlanta offensive coordinator Zach Robinson during his time with the Rams, and the Lions could use Everett as a depth option behind Sam Laporta and Brock Wright. But the Raiders offer something different: a core of young, talented tight ends ready to excel, and a position where Everett wouldn't be overused or overshadowed. He would be the stabilizing force behind 2 rising stars. His presence could be the bridge that allows Bowers and Mayer to evolve into one of the league's most dangerous duos. There's a strategic layer here that can't be ignored. If Las Vegas truly believes it can compete in 2025, targeting Geno Smith with as many reliable targets as possible is a smart move. With Bowers, Mayer, Jacoby Myers, and potentially Amari Cooper, the offense is starting to look complex, versatile, and dangerous. Everett may not move the betting lines in Las Vegas, but make no mistake, this is the kind of veteran who pays dividends when injuries strike or when a young tight end needs help navigating the grind of an NFL season. And with his previous ties to Carroll and experience in various offensive systems, he brings more than stats. stats, he brings solutions. The Raiders front office made it clear this offseason they are prioritizing tactical and smart additions over flashy ones. Everett fit that bill perfectly. But while Las Vegas carefully shapes the offensive side of the roster, a storm is brewing elsewhere, and the next big decision may not be who joins the Raiders, but who leaves. More than once, the NFL has suffered a serious quarterback injury, and the Raiders may have the perfect answer. Let's talk about Tennessee. Let's talk about Aiden Oonnell. Let's talk about a trade that could change two franchises overnight. The Tennessee Titans are in a downward spiral, and their time is running out fast. After stumbling to a dismal 3-14 record in 2024, they were given a lifeline with the first overall pick in the NFL draft. They won to select Cam Ward, Miami's electrifying quarterback, with the expectation that he would revive the franchise. That decision alone cast several doubts on the future of Will Levis, a 2023 second-round pick already struggling to stay relevant. And just as the Titans began preparing to hand the baton to Ward, disaster struck, and struck hard. Will Levis announced he would undergo shoulder surgery that would rule him out for the entire 2025 season. The timing couldn't have been worse. Training camp is just around the corner. The quarterback depth makes time fall apart in an instant. And now, behind their enthusiastic fans, the Titans are left with two names that inspire little confidence: Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle. Let's be honest, Allen spent his career as a clipboard guard. He knows the game, but he's never led a half with consistency or production. Boyle, on the other hand, is statistically one of the worst quarterbacks to ever receive a snap in the NFL. That's not an opinion. It's a fact backed by numbers. With no viable backups and their heat still unproven, the Titans are in freefall. They need help, and they need it now. Enter Aiden Oonnell. The Raiders' 2023 starter has had his ups and downs, but no one can deny what he brings to the table. Poise in the pocket, control of the offense, and a grit that won over the locker room. While not a Pro Bowler, he's the kind of backup everyone dreams of. Experienced, calm under pressure, and capable of stepping in when things don't go their way. With Geno Smith now firmly established as the Raiders starter and rookie Cam Miller selected to develop behind him, O'Connell's role in Las Vegas has become increasingly murky. He's a man stuck in the middle, too much upside to cut immediately, yet possibly too redundant to keep. And that's precisely what makes him an ideal trade candidate. The Titans are desperate, and the Raiders have a valuable bargaining chip. A trade O'Connell desired for Tennessee could net Las Vegas a mid to late round draft pick, or even a young player like wide receiver Treylon Burks, who could benefit from a fresh start. For Tennessee, the trade is simple. They get an experienced, NFL-tested backup who can keep the offense going if Ward struggles or is benched. For the Raiders, they've eliminated a logjam at quarterback and continued building their foundation around Geno Smith and Miller without sacrificing long-term stock. This isn't a lopsided scenario where one half exploits the other. It's a rare win-win situation, but the window is closing fast. If the Raiders act quickly, they can maximize their value. If they hesitate, the Titans may be forced to make a desperate play elsewhere, or worse, enter the season with an unprepared heat and two backups who can't deliver. And let's be real, O'Connell's momentum in Las Vegas may already be over. In spirit, the organization has made its interests clear. They brought in their starter. They drafted their heirs. The forecast is close, so why not cash in now, while the market is hot and the leverage is real? The Titans' dilemma has opened a door of opportunity for the Raiders. It's the kind of low-risk, high-reward scenario that resonates with smart front offices. Send O'Connell to Tennessee, recover a draft pick or a young offensive weapon, and walk away with the advantage, all without weakening the current roster. As Las Vegas prepares for the 2025 season, every move matters. Building a contender isn't about flashy free agents or high-profile trades. It's about knowing when to move on, when to double down, and when to strike while the ball is hot. And what about the O'Connell situation? This is the kind of strategic moment that can quietly shape the success of an entire year. Now the question is, will the Raiders seize the initiative, or will we let another team capitalize on a deal that was theirs? One thing is certain, the phone lines between Nashville and Vegas just got a lot busier.